Hi there, my name is Miss Townsend and I love math. Welcome to Math with Townsend. This video is for grade 10 students who are working on the quadratic relations part of the course. It's a video about word problems and it's question number 12. Here's the question. For the period 1990 to 2001, the number of tickets sold, Y in millions, for Broadway road tours can be modeled by this function, where X is the number of years since 1990. In what year were 750 million tickets sold for Broadway road tours? Oh, so only one question, and I'll reread it in a second. But first, let's again look very carefully at the equation and make sure we understand it. So here it is. It's an equation in standard form. And we were told that Y represents the number of tickets in millions. And X represents the number of years since 1990. So that would mean if I let x equal 0, that would be 1990. X equals 1 would be 1991, and so on. So it's obviously a quadratic equation. It's negative, and the starting value is 332. So presumably, in the year 1990, which is when x equals 0, 332 million Broadway tickets were sold. And then it went like this, and then presumably like this. Now, we don't know exactly what portion of this parabola is represented to us between 1990 and 2001. It could look like this, although I doubt we're going to get to 0, because people, I mean, I love Broadway, so it's not 0, I'll tell you that. So who knows exactly where it is that we're going to stop, and that's not what we're doing in this question anyway. But we do know that it looks something like this, and apparently in some year we hit 750 million. So let's go ahead and try to figure that out. So in what year? So find x, because x represents number of years, and this represents number of tickets. So 750 millions, we're going to let y be 750, and we're going to solve for x and see what that looks like. So we sub 750 into the equation, and then we're just going to do this math. So I'm going to make it equal to 0 so that I can decide what method I want to use. We always have to make them equal 0 in standard form. So subtracting 750, I get negative 418. So here it is in proper standard form. So now I can go ahead and, well, I'm certainly not going to factor. Let's use the quadratic formula. So x, ooh, sorry. Okay, let's go ahead. Oh, okay. Tablet malfunction. Bear with me. Boop, boop. Noises are okay. So x equals negative b. Oh, I know what I'm doing wrong. Plus or minus the square root of 132 squared minus 4 times a times b, all divided by 2a. So I'm just going to pause here for a second and, do some teacherly things. You'll notice that I made sure that my square root sign covered everything that I wanted to square root. That's an important thing. Please don't be lazy with your square root signs. This is not correct. Yes, you might know what you meant, but it doesn't matter. Math is a language. Please communicate properly. Also, this divide by line is very important. You know that everything in the numerator is going to get divided by this value, not parts of it, all of it. So let's go ahead and do this math. Now, one thing I always recommend to students when you use the quadratic formula, especially with really big numbers like we're dealing with here, is take it in pieces. So this is just going to be negative 132. There's going to be plus or minus and a square root sign, and we'll deal with that in a second. I know that the denominator is going to be negative 20.8. So now let's look here. This is something you should be able to type. You remember, this is the discriminant, and you should be able to do that all at once in your calculator. Just in case, though, if you have extra time and you want to be absolutely sure, let's go ahead and do it in pieces. So I'm going to do 132 squared and get 17,424. Now, the next thing I do is I look and see what's going to happen in terms of this signage. I've got minus, negative, negative. So altogether, if you minus negative negative, you're going to be subtracting. So now I've dealt with all of these signs, so I'm going to ignore them in my next step. I'm just going to take my calculator and do 4 times 10.4 times 418, and that's going to give me a number, 1738.8. And I'm sorry, I forgot I was using yellow. I know it's tough to see. There we go. Okay. So, if you have found in the past that you have had trouble, like you're doing everything right, but you can't get the right answer using quadratic formula, then I strongly suggest that you take it in pieces the way I just suggested. So now I can actually do this subtraction and find my discriminant is 35.2 and divided by negative 20.8. So I'll split this into two answers. So I'm going to have x equals negative 132 plus, and I'll take the square root, 35.2, which is 5.9. And x is going to be negative 132 minus 5.9 over negative 20.8. And then calculator, negative 132 plus 5.9 equals divide by negative 20.8. So here I'm going to get 6.1. And over here, it's not going to be that much different because, I have a number like 132 and then I'm only changing it plus or minus 5.9. So, we're going to get a fairly similar answer. In fact, I get 6.6. So the question said, in what year do I get 750 million? So we know that 6 years after 1990, sometime in that year, we will get to 750 million. So sometime between the 6th and 7th year, this is going to happen. So sometime probably in calendar year 1996, we got to that wonderful 750 million Broadway road trip tickets sold. Yay! Go see Broadway, it's awesome. Yay! Okay, well, so this was video number 12, which means that it's actually the end of that worksheet. Um, so there was only 12 questions on it, but you know that there's another word problem worksheet, so look for those videos soon. All right, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.